plant community. Thanks for tuning into this channel. If you're new here, guys, welcome. My name is Pam, and today is all about Hoyas. So you guys, I decided that it would be a time for me to actually share my Hoya collection. It's not by far a very large collection. There's about over between 200 to 300 species of Hoyas, and I just have a small piece of the pie that I want to kind of like bring you guys along and share with you. So I have about roughly a little bit over 15, so I'm going to try to make this quick, so hang tight, get something to drink, sit back and relax, and enjoy this segment. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into it. The first three, you guys, I'm just going to show footage of it or a picture of it because I have these three particular plants hanging in my macrame hangers. And if you guys out there in the plant world, if you have any plants hanging in these macrames, you already know the challenge that we all face with trying to get them out. So I don't want to have to try to rearrange it and make a perfect fit. So I'm just going to provide a photo for you guys. So the first one, you guys, I'm going to start with is my Hoya Bellavada. If you could take a look at it, it's still pretty full. It hasn't grown that much for me in the growing season, thus I have not had this plant for a long period of time either. It's probably given me, I would say, 2 leaves, but I think it's been more focusing on just the stems itself. But I still love the color, I love the texture of it, I love the little outline, and I really love the feel of it. Now my next one, you guys, is going to be the Hoya Chelsea. This is also another plant that I just recently acquired. I haven't had this plant for a full year, so it's steadily trying to push out stems. This is also another slow grower for me as well. All three of these plants that I'm about to bring up, which is the second one, they're all hanging in my bedroom where it's getting that damp light, so it's not really getting, I guess, that intensity of light and I guess humidity that the other Hoyas that I have in my collection, which most of my Hoyas are in my sunroom. So, and I'm okay with that. I just love the roundness of the leaves. I love the dimpleness, the imprints that the leaves have, and it's just beautiful. It just speaks to me. And I'm glad I have it in my collection. So it can take its time to grow. I'm a very patient person when it comes to the plants, so I can wait. And my third one, you guys, that I'm about to show you as well, this is my Hoya pubicalis. It's one of my oldest Hoyas that I've had. And so far, I think in this growing season, you guys, it's just focused on the tendrils, the stems. And it's giving me some leaves, but I think, personally, if you ask me, I think come next growing season, I can really expect this plant to really fully burst into all of the leaves because it's just tendrils or stems growing all over the place, and it's just reaching for something and trying to grab hold actually of the plant that's beside it. But once again, like I said, along with all the other Hoyas that I'm about to make a mention of, I am very appreciative that I do have these plants in my collection. And so I'm going to get into the ones that I actually have around me. But before I do, you guys, I just want to know from you guys, how many of you out there really do love Hoyas? If you do have Hoyas, how many do you have in your collection? And I wouldn't mind knowing the reason why. Why did you buy your Hoyas? I'm just kind of curious. Some people say that they buy Hoyas because of the blooms. The blooms may give you different kinds of blooms, and so people are more interested in the blooms. Some people are just in love with Hoyas in general, such as myself, where they just love the leaves. I just love the characteristics of the Hoyas. I mean, a lot of people say it's a lot of mixed emotions when it comes to Hoyas. Some people say, oh, they're not that spectacular of a plant, but I really do admire foliage and leaves on plants, and so I'm kind of drawn to it. Plus, you do get a little bit of variety, especially with sun stressing and different colors and the variegated versions, and it's very easy care, and that's like one of my the icing on the cake, so to speak, for me. It's just very easy care, and you just can't beat it. So let me just get right to the other ones that I have. Okay, let's see. This one right here, this is my Hoya Curtisy Eye. Very small specimen. Now, hey, too, I've noticed people have been seeing big baskets of these plants in the local box stores, like Lowe's and Home Depot, I think. Or I think mainly Lowe's than Home Depot, I'm not sure. I haven't lucked up yet, even though I've been going to these Lowe's searching, hoping to find a full specimen of this. But I love this. I really love the dainty small leaves. And then the color on it, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? Like that white speckle part. I don't know. And something about just the feel of it. I just love the thickness of these Hoyas. My next one, let's see. I wanted to do, oh, let me show you this one. This one is, and I kind of left the tags in because I can't remember the names of all these Hoyas, to be honest with you. But I do leave them in here because I like to know and remember the names of them, and also help inform you guys too whenever I do show them off. But this is the Hoya Diptera, and this one I have sitting, actually this is another one that's not actually in the sunroom. I actually have it sitting on my windowsill in my kitchen, but and I don't want to move it because I think it really loves it. And okay, it looks like a plain green leaf, but I am a plain gal, so but the leaves are just so beautiful. You know, I just don't know what to say. And it's trailing, it's trying to trail, but it's focused more on throwing this piece out, and then it has like this little thing, this little, I guess, branch that's also coming out. But very easy care. I just love the feel of the leaves. Very thick, very beautiful to me. If you are in love with foliage like I am, I think Hoyas is the way to go, and also it's a way to go, I think, for a new plant parent as well. My next one, so many. Okay, I'm trying to pick them up without destroying them at the same time. And this is my Hoya Cressida. Now, I don't know. I just love the way the leaves are shaped. And like I said, most of the Hoyas are very thick. I have it in this terracotta pot, and it's on this makeshift trellis. And it's been growing for me. It really has. As you can see, it's almost practically full in the middle. And that's kind of the look that I'm going for. And it plays off well, I think, in this terracotta. It's a very beautiful plant. I can't really say too much about Hoyas. Not enough without sounding redundant, but just look at it, you guys. Admire the beauty. Like, wow. You know, I like bringing you guys along with these kind of adventures too, because I got to tell you, sometimes life gets in the way and you just don't have enough time to really look at the leaves. So this, sharing these with you, is like a treat for myself as well, because I really get a chance to actually look at it, look at the leaves, and admire them for the beautiful specimens that they are. Now this one I'm probably going to have to wind up repotting this. I just have it in this cash pot that really don't fit, and it's kind of top heavy, so it's hard for me to hold it. But this is the Hoya Trubiana, and I just love the elongated leaves. Kind of remind me of, give me that pepper vibe, some hot chili peppers. Do you like hot peppers? I do, but it just gives me that vibe, like. And it's just so funky how it's growing. It's very long leaves, and I mean, this leaf right here, you guys, it's just extremely long, and it's nice and wide. It's in very dry soil. It's very top heavy, so I'm kind of holding it. But just look at it, you guys. This has been growing as well too, and I kind of created this trellis as well to kind of hold it, because it was just branching out and just being real wild. So I put it on this trellis to kind of control it more or less. But it's still beautiful, and I love it. Okay, let me see. Okay, now these next two I want to share almost like side by side or back to back, just so we can see if there's any comparison. But I just got them because I wanted both of them in my collection. The first one I'm going to show you really quick is, I can't even, let's see. What is the name of this Hoya before I even show it to you? Why every time, guys, when I start talking to y'all, I get to like go in this brain fog, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of some of these plants. It trips me out, because I swear, behind camera, you guys, I could just name them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but when I get in front of the camera, it's like a duh, like what? But this is my Hoya Wetty Eye, variegata, and I've had this for about 1.5 years now, and it's in a 4-inch pot. And I mean, I just admire because I really love the color and the shape of the leaves. I'm just really a sucker for. And it has some, it can provide some form of pink hue. This growing season, you guys, it's just started throwing this out. So I think I'm expecting some miracle things to be going on really in the next growing season for this plant. Like I said, it kicked this one out and it started kicking this out. And usually when they start doing that for one season, then the next season they're more focused on producing the leaves. Or so we'll see. I'm very excited to have this in my collection. It's just so beautiful, and it has that the pink subtlety of the pink. It's just, I don't know, I just love it. So this one, you guys, I wanted to compare with the this Hoya Quintiana I've not too long ago acquired. So I just got this in my collection, but I've been wanting one for a long time, and I'm very grateful that I have this one. Don't get me wrong, but I saw people being able to find like a fuller pot of this, so I really wish I was able to acquire that. But I appreciate what I have. The only difference, you guys, that I'm even noticing between the Quintiana and the Wetty Eye is really the Quintiana. To me, I think their leaves are a little bit longer than the Wetty Eye, and I guess black edges is more pronounced or on this plant as opposed to the Wetty Eye. But I just love it. Just look at it, guys. I don't know, when I look at this plant, I don't know why I think of string beans. Don't ask me why. And why is it always got to be food related? Why? Okay, my next one, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you my Hoya Crimson Princess. Now, I love this plant so much, you guys, that I actually have 2 others. I have one that's growing a little bit more robust than this, but I'm saving that one for another video that I plan on doing. So keep watching this channel and you'll get to see the other princess. But look at this. It's beautiful. It's trailing, and it just bloomed for me, and the blooms just died, and it has another I guess blooms that's working on trying to open. But I really love the color of the leaves, and it's so cool because it's crazy. It's like this is all green on this side, but then it has that variegation on this side. So I'm not quite sure, and I have it hanging in my window in this room here, and it tends to love it. It's just, look at that, trailing, but beautiful. But can you believe it or not, I have 2 others that's way more robust than this. But like I said, one of them I plan on showing on a later video. Another one was just too big for me to even bother taking down in full, but it's gorgeous. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'll do a photo of the other big one. I have to think about that. Okay, now of course, you can't have the princess without the queen, in my personal opinion, but let me get this. I'm about to show you something that's kind of crazy. I just potted this up. I want this plant, I just repotted it actually, I want to say April, maybe May, right at the cusp of the actual growing season. I'm about to show you this crazy root system. I have it sitting inside of a hanging planter that's hanging in one of the windows in the sunroom. And I just pulled it out today, because usually I just leave it in there and I just water it because it's kind of hard for me to get it out. But I was just taking it out today just for you guys to show. And then I noticed this, which is kind of crazy. You see that? All that is roots, you guys. It grew all that roots. Look at that. Now, I don't think I should repot it just yet. I just actually uppotted. I know Hoyas like to keep their roots real tight, so I'm apprehensive about potting it up. But look at this, you guys. Look how full it is. This is one of my older plants as well. I've had this plant almost 2 years. But look at the trails. And this plant has flowered for me multiple times in this growing season, and it dies off and then another bloom will come in. But this is one where it actually have the blooms forming. It has an open jet. And then I just noticed by talking to you guys, it's actually, see if I can find it. It's actually another bloom trying to open up right here. See that? So it's pretty cool, but I just couldn't believe, I mean, this root system is crazy, ain't it? Wow. It's very impressive. So like, it's so beautiful. And it just started to, I noticed in the past couple of days, let me see if the camera picked this up. This stem right here. Let me see if I don't even think I can, oh man. See that pink little stems, leaves, very beautiful. That's a cool thing about, especially when it comes to the queen, when the new leaves come in, they do come in that beautiful pinkish purple hue, and it's very subtle. You know, sometimes less is more, in my opinion, and with Hoyas, they say a lot to me. Now my next one has my Hoya Crinkle 8. And look at that. I am a sucker for the dimples of the leaves. It's just starting to try to trail for me. I just recently put it up, I hung it up. I had it sitting on one of the tables in here, but I just recently hung it up. And matter of fact, I've been thinking about doing another update on another sunroom tour, just so you can see how my plants are hanging out, because I do a lot of rearranging and changing stuff out sometimes. And I might just think about bringing you guys along. Y'all comment below and let me know if y'all be interested in actually seeing a total plant situation here in this room. My next one, I'm going to show you the babies, I guess. This will be, what is the name of this plant? I'm doing it again, you guys. I'm doing it again. What are you? Jeez. I may have to actually come back to this. I don't know why. Oh man, it just kills me with that. Okay, I'll just move on. Maybe the memory will come back to me with that plant. I'm quite sure. Before the video is over with. So, okay. This is the Hoya Sunrise. I was lucky enough to come across this small specimen. It's very beautiful. It was sun stressing at some point, but then it toned it back a bit. But I'm not really worried about that. I'm just in love with this. I just recently had it. I probably had it part of my collection for, I don't know, probably a couple of months now. And I'm excited to see where this plant will actually go, how big I can actually get it to grow. I'm just really appreciating, admiring the growth of it. Just take a look at it, you guys. Very beautiful specimen. I'm so glad I finally own one. It was very hard for me to get. The next one, which is another top heavy plant, I have to be careful because it does bend. And this is my Hoya Australis fuzzy back. Man, I gotta hold this. You see that, you guys? Haven't grown up on the trellis. It hasn't grown funky or wild. I love feeling these leaves though. It's fuzzy. You know why they call it a fuzzy back? Because the backs are just so, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, some kind of SNR type of, something about feeling it is just so relaxing and soothing. But it has grown a lot of the stems. I had to actually wrap it around twice. So I think, like again, I think the next growing season is going to start focusing on the leaves. So I haven't seen too much leaf growth. It has produced these leaves right here that you see at the top. And the leaves has gotten somewhat bigger. But I really like, I appreciate this plant because the leaves are not that big. And sometimes with Hoyas, I do appreciate some of the smaller leaves as well as the large leaves. You know, we all are into big leaves, but sometimes, like I said, let's say more and small is somewhat impressive as well. My next one I want to show you is another older plant that I had in my collection. Oh, I'm sorry, give me a second, you guys. Ooh. The next one I've had in my collection for about a year as well. Really over a year. Yeah, really over a year. And this is my Hoya Macafolla. I have it on a trellis that I actually brought. One of them ring trellises. And if you have seen me do that, I believe it was a short or something. No, was it a short? I think it was. Where I was showing you some plant updates. I think I may have talked about this one, but I can't really remember offhand. Where I was talking about it did this the whole growing season. It would throw out these little peduncles, and then it really wouldn't do anything. It tried to bloom, but it really wasn't successful with the bloom. So unfortunately, I didn't really have a chance to admire the blooms for this one, but that's okay. Look how full it is, though. I mean, it is gorgeous. And I have it in a clear pot, and look, the roots are starting to come out on this one as well. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I know they love being root bound. I would not dare pot it another size in risk of destroying this plant. This plant has been very easy care. Look, I got it actually wrapped around the ring almost like twice. So if I was to let it go, it probably would be hanging significantly down. But I really love the look that it gives here. Look at that. It's just very beautiful. And my goal is to actually get this whole middle part filled, and I do believe it will get there in no time soon. And another cool thing about this plant too, I mean, well, with all Hoyas, they seem to be easy to propagate. When I got this plant, when I unboxed it or unwrapped it or something, when I first got the plant, I accidentally had broke a piece of the stem or the leaves or something. I can't remember what it was, but something snapped off of it, and it gave me these leaves, and and some of the leaves had snapped off too, and I was about to throw it away, and I said, you know what, let me see if I can propagate him. And I'm glad I did. I was able to propagate it, and I just want to share one of the propagations. This propagation was literally about a year ago. 2 leaves, that's it. And I propagated them in sphagnum moss, and it grew a significant amount of roots, and I put it in this small 2-inch pot. But a year later, it's giving me this cute little thing. So a year later, the 2 leaves that was initially in here, you guys, it's died off already. So all these leaves that you do see, it is new growth. And it is getting long. It's been focusing on shooting, but I am really impressed with this because before the growing season, you guys, it actually just had the 2 leaves down here, and it just shot and provided me with at least these 4 leaves. I just wanted to share that with you. And that just this little baby came from the plant I just showed you guys. It's just really cool how Mother Nature works. Let's see. I think I showed you all of these. Okay, my next one, which I've also been eyeing and wanting for a while, and I'm glad I have it, is this Hoya of Avada. Look at that. And I brought this in a 3-inch pot. And what I have noticed since I've had it, because I brought this plant I think a little bit before at the beginning of the growing season, it has focused on pulling out the stems, and it's shot up a little bit. I've noticed when I first got it, it was a little bit more closer to the pot, a little bit more compact, but still had a little trail, but it has reached out. So I'm really loving, I am a sucker for these oval shaped leaves, man. Oh my goodness. And then the subtlety of the splashing. You see that, guys? It's just awesome to me. I really love this plant, and I'm excited to have it in my collection. I can't wait to see what it can really become grown completely out. Hanging in there with me, you guys. I'm almost getting close to the end. This is another one that I lucked up on, and I'm glad I have in my collection, and this is the Hoya Australis Lisa. Now, when I also brought, this is also, I think, this is a 3-inch. This is also a 3-inch planter, and when I got it, it was very close to the crown of the pot, and it has shot up tremendously this growing season. And I mean, I just really love the color of it, and look at the that hue of pink with the subtleness of the light green and then the creaminess. It's just so beautiful. I mean, I really could look at this for a long time. It looks watered. It looks watered, Mark. What you think? I can't wait for this one to really become a full specimen. Now, my next one, let's see, is my Hoya Finlayson Eye. What drew me to this plant, you guys, and I love the leaf. The leaves are super hard and super thick. But what kind of really drew me to this plant, you guys, is that the veination on the leaves, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, I hope it is, but the veination on the leaves is almost x-ray light, and it reminds me of the Hoya Calistophala. I believe, am I pronouncing that right? I hope I am. But for y'all of those that are Hoya lovers such as myself, y'all know the plant that I'm talking about. And I really do plan on getting that sometime soon. I hope so anyway. But it reminds me of it. I'm so glad that I got this in my collection. It's just such one of the hardiest of the Hoyas. It's so beautiful with the dark green. But then you can still see, like I said, the veination of the Hoya in the back. It's like x-ray like. It's just such a stunning plant. It really is. Let's see. Now, my next plant is another one of my favorites that I am in love with. I'm trying to pick it up. There it goes, kind of heavy. This is my Hoya Fungi Eye. And look at that, you guys. When I first got it, first of all, I got it in a 4-inch pot. And when I got it, the trails was kind of long. And I was really impressed for the price that it was and the size. I really did not expect that much of a plant. Because sometimes you take your chances, especially when you order online and it's like a 4-inch pot. You really don't know what to expect. So I was pleasantly surprised when I actually opened up this, unwrapped this plant, so to speak. But it has been growing for me, and it's shooting out this in these baby leaves. They're so delicate and dainty you can't even really see it. And it's been shooting out here. I've actually had this wrapped around a couple of times, and then it has this growing right here in the middle. You see that? But I really admire the leaves. The leaves are still, you know, something that speaks to me directly with the Hoyas with the X-ray veining. I don't know. It's just, look at that. You cannot say this plant is not beautiful. It's not gorgeous. I don't know. I just love it. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show y'all this plant, you guys, because I was hoping that by the time I got around the end that I would actually remember the name of this plant. And I am kicking myself in the butt right now because, like, Pam, what are you thinking? But let me just show it to you. I don't know. When I figure out the name, maybe I'll put the name on the daggone screen. I don't know. I'm so upset that I'm not remembering this plant. But it's a slow grower. And personally, for this particular variety, guys, if you do love this plant, it's probably in your best interest if you're able to find a bigger pot of this. You might want to just go that route. I just haven't been able to find a big pot of this. And I would just love to be able to get my hands on a much bigger, fuller, more trailing one, so to speak. But I'm admiring the beauty. It's so pretty. I love the funkiness of the leaves. And it's very easy care, very easy going. It will definitely let you know when it needs a drink, because these leaves will crinkle up drastically. You just give it a nice drink and it comes right back. It's just a super slow grower. And I mean, I guess it's okay, you know. I just didn't want to wait like 20 years to actually have a full pot of this. So I don't know, I'll see. Now, if I come across one where I'm able to find a bigger pot, I probably will just go ahead and get it. But I am admiring the beauty for what it is. And I can't believe, I'm really kicking myself in the butt, you guys, because I don't remember the name of this plant. And this is like one of my top ones, so I am so sorry. So I have one more, which is not another one of my top ranking ones. I mean, if I had to put them in any order, it would really be hard for me to do. But I can definitely say that this plant is one of my top ones. And this is the Hoya Carry Eye. You know, it is really, Mother Nature is beautiful, you know. You have leaves that's literally shaped like hearts. And I mean, just look at it. And you know, I gotta say, you guys, for this growing season, I can say this plant shot the heck on up. And I mean, it was literally one stem, you guys. And let's see. It was one stem from here. I mean, and it was all the way up. This is actually, it's crazy. And I cut it, and I rerooted it, and I put the stem in here. So now it's two stems, and this is the stem, you guys, that was actually attached, and all of these leaves. And so far, it had a peduncle. But it wasn't a significant bloom. It wasn't a lot of the clusters on the peduncle. It was probably maybe like 4 or 5. So when it did finally open up, it didn't really do anything spectacular. But look at these baby leaves right here. I don't even know. Can you see that? Yeah, baby leaves. It's just, I don't know. I'm really a fan of this plant because, like I said, the heart shape is very unique looking. You know, really, if you really wanted to, if you could just imagine, you guys, having a huge specimen of this plant, it really would be a statement piece for your home. It really would. And can you imagine for holiday time, like Valentine's Day or something? I don't know. I just think this would really be cute. So for any of you guys out there, if you got a girlfriend or a wife that really loves plants, you know, this might be the plant to go when Valentine's Day comes. Just giving you few more months heads up. But that pretty much wraps it up, you guys, for my Hoya collection. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know below in the comments to share with us if you have any of these varieties that I just shared with you, or any varieties that I may have, or any that you wouldn't mind having, or any of them on your wish list plants list. Do you like Hoyas? You know, please just let me know and share with us all. But like I said, this wraps up this video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, and you love listening to planting things, definitely subscribe to this channel. This channel is where it's at, you guys, so please come along. Give me a big thumbs up if you wish, or a thumbs down. Whichever way you want to go, it's okay with me. Enjoy your day, you guys, wherever you are in the world, and until next time, much love.